Well, hey, welcome to the Daily Brew. All right, everyone here for the World Cup.
Yes.
America is known for our ranch dressing. We love it, right?
Put on everything.
And apparently the airports have had a bit of an issue with that.
Yes, they have.
Saying, hey, it's a liquid. Remember, you can't just bring it, because they're bringing it back in droves. They want to try it. And TSA is like, hey, you got to check that stuff. Well, Kraft Foods, they're coming up with a fix in social media. They said they're working on a TSA Compliant Ranch.
Okay. I would
Can
say,
you believe it?
because what's the liquid? Is it 3.4 ounces, 3.2? So, yeah, 3.4 ounces. Are those just all individual 3.4 ounce ranch little packets?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm just wondering, and I told you and Tiffany this earlier, they're taking home, well, some of the video we saw is just like the Kraft bottles of ranch.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the best representation of ranch.
Yeah. Well, I think they just see, like, one bottle and they go with it. See, for me, like, I'm a big fan of Ken's.
Yeah.
That's usually my go-to. But like you said, like something like we're taking Hidden Valley. Now, no disrespect if you like Hidden Valley, like we've talked about. There's some other options out there.
But the Hidden Valley, the Hidden Valley in the packet is the best one because you mix it with sour cream and it's really good.
Yeah, you can add it to stuff, but like people are just taking like the bottles. Like, I think the problem is the reason why they're taking so much of this is because again, it's not as widespread used in Europe. So you're just kind of like, I don't know what to take, so I'm just gonna take whatever I see first.
Right, definitely. And I think these people need to know that not all ranches created equal, because when you go to a restaurant, you're like, oh, I hope they got the good ranch.
I mean, restaurants can live or die by their ranch, especially because like sometimes it's very little sets it apart. But if you have a good dipping sauce for chicken, pizza, even I put on pizza, so like you have a good ranch.
I mean, I'll go to a restaurant just because I like the ranch. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'll say my fiance Emily, same way. If they don't have a good ranch, not interested.
Yeah, I like it. They're also creating a little luggage tag, a ranch-inspired luggage tag.
See, now I would get that. That's cool. Like, 'cause you can see it right there on the right end, and it's got it has the TSA approved ranch. I think it says on there.
Okay, this right here is smart. Whenever something pops, you take advantage and you make the money. That's how you do it.
Yeah, and they're not necessarily too late because there are people that are staying quite a bit through this World Cup, and we still have the opening round still, and still the round of 32 and so on. So I think we got another few weeks left for this World Cup, so people are still going to be here and they're still going to be buying it.
I mean, 10 years from now, we're going to look back and say, why in 2026 was there a spike in ranch sold?
I was going to say, I don't know about Kraft, but I get their stock's going up today because everyone wants their ranch.
There we go. All right. Another amusement park ride got stuck, stranding passengers. This time they're in Farmingdale, New York. You remember the one in Texas, right? The roller coaster just a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, so we saw one, I think that was the one, right, where like he was at the top of the hill and they had to like climb down the ladder.
Yeah.
And now, yeah, because there was one too a couple weeks ago. It was the swings. And when they went up on the swings, they were stuck. And it's like this one, you can't do anything. You have to wait. At least with the roller coaster, yeah, it's scary, but you can walk down the steps. This, you literally just have to wait for them to come down. Now, it's not as high, but still, it's still pretty scary.
Yeah, it's about 25 feet here, but it does go up to about 50 feet. The firefighters there, though, having to rescue them all. And it makes you think, what is happening? Because I don't remember a time in my life that I heard about so many right in a row.
Yeah, and I wonder if it's just because of like, it feels like sometimes like social media, like once something like really crazy happens, then it starts to come more to light. So I don't know if it's
that algorithm, Danny.
Oh yeah, don't get me started on that. But I wonder if it's more that. But like you said, until recently have not heard much about it. Maybe it's just been happening, but once one happens, then anytime anything else happens, people are like, oh, look at this. So I don't know.
Yeah, I kind of feel like I'm so glad this has never happened to me because I'm not like a person that's scared of things usually or heights, but I would have a panic attack because I would feel out of control and stuck. What do you do?
Yeah, I'd say there's really nothing. You're just begging for help for them to help you out. I only got stuck once on a ride. Well, 2 times actually.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, one was on a log flume, which it wasn't too high. And they had a ladder, but something was in like the, like conveyor belt that takes you up. There's like a stick or something that was stuck.
Okay.
So we were stuck at the top of that hill. That was great. The second one was at Animal Kingdom. There's like a Yeti ride where it goes backwards. And right as that, it launched you down. But as it goes backwards, it got stuck.
Oh, no. So you're waiting for the launch.
And we were just like, when's it coming? It was only about 15 minutes, though. So it wasn't as long as like those. But
okay, did it launch and launch hard?
It did.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and they didn't tell us, like, they did the little 3, 2, and then sent you.
Oh gosh, that kind of would freak me out a little bit.
I know. But thankfully, yeah, it wasn't.
I'm glad you're alive, Danny.
Everyone's safe, but yeah, it has happened to me a couple times, but not recently. That was, the last time was 15 years ago. So.
Yeah. Okay. You were still young enough where you could recover.
Yes.
Nowadays, I would be pretty upset about it.
I'll say
at this age.
it might take me a little time to try to go back on a ride.
There we go. All right, we're talking about a new art gallery in LA. It's pushing the boundaries of a museum. They're using AI to create an interactive experience here. It's called Data Land, and it surrounds visitors with, all these swirling sounds, the lights, and all of the things. It also incorporates wearable technology that can track your physical responses, like your heart rate, and feed that information back into the art itself. Pretty cool.
If you wouldn't have told me about this, I would have thought you slipped something in my drink, Joe.
Oh, I know it's a little out there.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. I'm always like here, like this part of AI. Yeah, whatever. I don't really mind. It's just kind of cool to see, like you said, like how the body reacts to certain things. We did a little experiment in high school. There was I don't know if it was like a psychology class or something, but basically during really intense scenes of movies, like Saw, for example, they would test your heart rate and everything to see how it reacts, and it's just very interesting to see during the craziest scenes how your body responds.
You just don't want it talking for you and thinking for you.
No, like I said, to aid in research, sure, but once we start getting into again Terminator style things, sorry, Joe, I'm
robots
out.
that kick kids and
oh, not that. that poor boy.
All right, stay with us. More 5 News This Morning's coming up.